Happy Wednesday, writers. Today for a writing workshop, you're going to need your writing notebook, glue stick, pencil, and your green ELA resource folder. Remember, your ELA resource folder is located in your anchor binder, so go ahead and open it up. And on the right side, you're going to then take off the two top pages that are in reference to facts versus opinion. So the one that says fact versus opinions, and then gives us some details, and then the chart that we'll be filling out. The rest of the pages you can keep tucked inside of your folder, and then make sure that your anchor binder gets placed back in your basket. Go ahead back to your notebook. Yesterday we began our first day of briefly talking about what an opinion essay is, and then you were given 2 prompts to choose between to create your own planning of an opinion essay. Today we're going to be moving on, and we are going to be talking specifically about facts and opinion. So if you would, on the next available page, you are going to write page 35. We're going to then turn back to the table of contents, and you're going to write 35. And today we're focusing on the difference between what is a fact versus what is an opinion. And today's date is 10-14-20. Remember, at any time you can pause the video to get yourself caught up and organized, and then push play to continue with Mrs. Ling. All right, we're going to go ahead and take the first information page, turn that over. That's going to go on page 35, so use your glue stick, make your frame, and then crisscross through the middle, turn it over and smooth it out. Remember that you're going to rewrite your number in case you covered up like Mrs. Ling did. Then turn your page. The chart that says facts versus opinions, you're going to put that on the back side. And smooth it down. So before you had your lesson today in the notebook, you should have watched your video on what is a fact versus what is an opinion. So we're going to take our highlighters to help us highlight some important information. So we're talking about, in our unit, how can we create an opinion essay? Well, if we're being asked to create an entire essay with a central idea of it being based on our opinion, it's important for us to know how to distinguish an opinion from what are then considered to be facts. So we're going to first start off by identifying what are considered to be facts. So go ahead and highlight the word facts. Facts are things that have actually happened. They've actually occurred. They're based on true information that we could check. It can be proven, and it can be supporting our opinions. So it could be relevant details that we find within a passage that we would then pull out as our evidence to support whatever it is that we're trying to make sure that our reader is understanding our view about. The next part is opinion, and this is where we're going to be focusing for this next unit. An opinion can be a belief that you have personally. It is the result of an emotion that you personally have. It's an interpretation of the facts. So it's how you are reading into information that's being provided. So your take on what's being written. When you turn the page, we're going to jot down some ideas that help us distinguish between what is a fact and what is opinion. So we're going to focus first on the facts. So facts that we can check, we're going to just put that in parentheses. So we can check, meaning that we could go to an encyclopedia or a dictionary or find information that is supporting the facts. We have to be careful though, because just because it's written on the internet or in a published piece doesn't always mean that it is in true a fact. Sometimes we have bias based on the author or who creates it. So we have to be very careful with what is considered a fact. But facts that we can check can include dates. So birth dates, the starting date of school, things that you can go back and check. The location of events, or the location where you were born, or where your parents might have gotten married, or where your parents grew up. Locations can definitely be checked. The names that are given to individuals or important people in history, those are things that we can find in reference to whatever it is that we are talking about. Also, we can check numbers. So we could talk about maybe how many are in a group. So if we were having, let's say, a party, and we were all asked to bring a certain amount of, let's say, cookies, you could count how many cookies someone's brought, because that is something we are checking. So numbers can be a fact. We could also have numbers that are in our telephone number, and that can be checked to see if that is an accurate combination of digits to reach the person that we intended to reach. We could also check the occupation of an individual. So an occupation is a job. So if you were checking to see if Mrs. Ling was in fact a teacher, you would be able to check by looking up my teaching certificate, seeing if I'm employed at a school, to see if I have a classroom. So there are ways to definitely check. So these are just a few of the facts that we are listing, just to get our brains wrapped around what is a fact, and knowing that we can check them to prove that they are indeed true. When we move on to an opinion, we have to remember that this is based on our personal beliefs. So we're going to put based on feelings or personal belief. So your opinion might not be the same as your brother or sister, or your parents, or your teacher, or your classmate. And your opinion is based on what you feel and what you interpret. So some of the ideas that we cannot prove to be true because they're based on your own thinking could be if you described what is the best team in a sports league. So Mrs. Ling loves Florida State Seminoles, and although they're not necessarily the best playing this season, I would still consider them to be the best team because of my own personal beliefs, and I attended Florida State University to get my degree. So I would definitely have my opinion, but some of you might be Gator fans and you would definitely disagree with Mrs. Ling. Another opinion could be your favorite. And we're going to list a couple of the favorites that you could have different than your family or whoever you might be referencing. So maybe you have a favorite movie and it's different from your brother or sisters. You could have a favorite food based on your taste buds and what you definitely crave and think is tasty. Your favorite vacation. All of these items so far are, remember, things that are based on your own thinking cannot be proven to be true because they're based on your thoughts. You could also have your own political beliefs. Your political beliefs oftentimes are influenced by your parents and what you hold to be important, but those are your opinions, and remember, your opinions are possibly different than someone else in your class or in your family, and that's okay as long as it's being respectfully shared. The next could be things that we care about. So we're going to write things we care about. Or even if we were in the classroom and we were voting on a class reward, let's say we all turned in our homework and all of our work for an entire week, and we were trying to come up with some sort of celebration to say that we are so proud of our hardworking students. Our best reward might be different for each of you, or what your idea for the best reward would be. It's based on your own thinking and what you enjoy for what you would then consider to be the best of it. So today for your writing assignment, we talked about the differences between facts and opinions. Facts can be checked. Opinions are based on your feelings, and it might differ from one person to the next. Once you're finished with your 2 pages in your notebook, remember you're taking a picture and submitting them to the assignment today, but you also have a practice assessment on Schoology. This is a practice to then distinguish between facts and opinions. So I will give you a statement and you will have to tell me whether or not the statement is something that's a fact you could prove to be true or not, or is it an opinion because it's based on someone's thinking.